All right, guys, what is going on? Oh, I muted the wrong shit. What is good, everyone? What's good? I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you are having a good day, because I am definitely having a good day. I am absolutely ecstatic to share with you some pretty cool news. Some pretty cool news, chat. Thanks, Bizel. So, it's a very full circle moment for me. What do you guys think it is? What do you think it is? Actually, convicted capitalist, I didn't trade today. I really wanted to, but right when we got to the lows, I stepped away for a minute and I missed out, but I know a lot of you did catch it. And that's wonderful. You know, I don't know if it was because I said anything about ES, I did mention 6,073 was an upside objective. We actually did trade lower first, and I did tell you that I wasn't entirely confident just yet on where we're going to go. You know, I didn't know if we were going to go higher first or if we were going to go lower to go higher. But then right before we got these lows, I came out and I mentioned, yeah, these are some clean lows down here as well. And that was met very, very beautifully. And then, of course, the run to 6,073. And I know a lot of you caught it. I know a lot of you caught it. I am 2.0. Yeah. Goodbye, Joe. Banned in your first month. See ya. See ya. No. A lot of people think it's like, oh, John's going to announce something about the MLM industry or whatever. No. No. This has nothing to do with the MLM industry. There might be an announcement relating to that soon. But no. This is the announcement shot. This is it. This is it right here. Let me take the camera off for just a second so that way you're able to see this. I picked this up yesterday. Went ahead, picked this bad boy up. 2025 2LT, brand new. It had 6 miles on it. 6 miles. I put more miles on it driving home than what was on it. It's got like 25 now, I think. 23, 24, 25. But yeah, you know, and I know you guys are going to blow up the chat. I know. I won't be able to read every single message at the moment, but yeah, this is absolutely huge. You know, this is a really, really big accomplishment for me. And I obviously wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys, without the trade house, without some of my other friends of mine, you know, without people like Jordan and Zach and Siva, and obviously the engineers that put all this shit together. And, you know, there's a lot that goes into getting your dream car. You know what I mean? I won't talk about this for the entire stream, but, you know, if you just let me have my flowers for a minute. It was a bitch, dude. Like, it was a real bitch actually getting this one. Just because, like, bro, I don't even want to get into it, but yeah, it was a process, man. It was a process. Got the keys right here. See that? This way. And I'll take a video of it probably when the sun is out. It's very cloudy here in Houston today, so it doesn't really it doesn't look the greatest, you know, but when the sun comes out and it looks better, I'll take some more pictures. I'll show you guys the inside and everything and give you a little tour. But yeah, black and white, just wonderful. And yeah, so the reason that I said it's a very full circle moment is because about 6 months ago, I went to my storage unit, and I found, I know the camera might not pick it up, but this is one of the cars that I played with when I was like 4, maybe 5 years old. This one is a 1997 Corvette that I literally played with as a kid about 27, 28 years ago. And I've had that on my shelf, you know, sitting up there for like the last 6 months. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I've also slept like shit the last few days too, just from the excitement. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. The amount of money I spent was, you know, it was a lot. I ain't gonna say how much, but you can look around. You can go see how much the 2LTs are brand fucking new. Okay, they're not cheap. So, you know, we're not gonna talk about price or anything like that, but you know, did they give me the shirt to go with it? So what happened is they set me up with the app, the Chevy app. And since I bought the car, I got points, and I redeemed the points for the shirt. I got a hat. I don't think I'd like it. I don't know what I did with it. I don't like the hat that I got. I ended up just going on Amazon and buying a different hat for myself. This one I thought was cooler, and it's white too to actually match the car. So yeah, I mean, I got points, but it wasn't really. It was like, I think 100 or 150 bucks worth of points. So I mean, it doesn't get you like a lot, but it was enough to cover 150 bucks. Wow. Yeah, dude, I got the shirt. I got a couple hats. And yeah, obviously I just bought a bunch of more shit too, you know, cleaning stuff and the cover and all that stuff. It's a lot to keep up with, but yeah, that was my announcement, man. You know, came a long way from my first job at 16 at Wendy's, you know, making like 300 bucks every 2 weeks. And I saw a couple Corvettes in a drive-thru, you know. Now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. And it was always older guys, 40s, 50s. I never saw someone in their 30s. I'm barely 31. You know what I mean? So to me, that's also a really, really big deal. You know, not everybody buys their dream cars when they're 31. So, needless to say, I am very blessed. Now, I work my fucking ass off. You don't get it twisted. I work very, very hard for this stuff, for you guys, with trading, with teaching, with reading, personal development, mindset, all that shit. But yes, I am very, very blessed. God has been very good to me. And I never want to forget that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Mason said $100,000 shirt that came with a free car. I didn't even know it came with that stuff. But I will tell you this though, because I had never bought obviously a car like this, right? Or well, I took it off already, but you know, when you really, really spend some money, you get all the cool stuff. You know, the shirts and the hats and other, like, bro, I can start my car from the fucking phone. Like, I can go on my app and start the car. That's insane. And I you know, again, this stream's not going to be all about the car. I'll make videos on that, but it's got the front lift, which is absolutely badass. Like, the front literally just lifts up. It's insane. I have a rear view mirror, but it's also a rear view camera. Awesome. Lane assist, because you cannot, there's blind spots like a bitch. But there's like lane assist and stuff, and yeah, it's wonderful. And yes, it is fast. It is. I can confirm. Yeah, Josh said front running that midlife crisis by 10 to 15 years. Oh yeah. Yeah, Sergio. I mean, I've already been through the emotional side of it because I actually bought it on Saturday. You know, I put a little bit down on Saturday and came back to put the rest down yesterday, actually. So I picked it up, drove it home. It's outside. That was the first thing I did when I got up this morning. I went and I looked at it. And I'm still in disbelief, you know, but I've been planning this for a while. There was quite a few things that, you know, obviously needed to align for it to happen, and I fucking made it work, you know. I will say this, though, since I got about 79 or 69, LOL, I got about 70 of you on here. I will tell you this, though, because I had a couple conversations on the side with some friends of mine and stuff. Just people that I know were car salesmen and, you know, deal with finance and all that kind of shit. And I told them this, and I told another friend of mine, I said, look, and I found this out the hard way, all right? But I'm teaching you some life shit for free, all right? Thank you, Eduardo. And thank you, everybody else who says congratulations. I really do appreciate it. if there's one life lesson that I can give you today, which I do write about in my book, by the way, the next one, okay, which should come out this year. I ain't gonna promise it though, but I should get on that. Pay very, very close attention. We're gonna get into the price action in just a second, but just let me say this before we continue. Okay. What model of car is it? It is a 2025 Corvette Stingray 2LT. Believe it or not, it was the second cheapest one off the floor. There was only one more cheaper than the one I got. It was red, but it was a 1LT. I was like, ugh, I'm not getting that. I need some of the bells and whistles. For spending money like that, I need some bells and whistles, dog. Sorry. Can't do it. And that actually brings me to my next point. Every stage, okay? Really pay attention here. This isn't no bullshit, okay? Every stage in life, you hear me? Every stage in life, business, relationships, your career, even in trading, and even when buying a car or even buying a house. Every time you try to get something of value, a person of value, a car of value, or a very fucking expensive car, or maybe a job promotion or career field, whatever, every stage you go through these various topics, you're always going to have the chance to settle. You could settle for somebody, you know, maybe not as pretty or not as high of moral character. I don't suggest it. You know, you could try to buy the $85,000 car and they try to talk you down to the $70,000 car, you know, or whatever the case. They try to pick another person for promotion over you and tell you just give it more time, all this bullshit. Or, you know, there's always a chance to settle, you know. And if there's one thing I can tell you, don't. Okay? Don't settle. You're going to hate it. You're going to regret it. You're going to wish that you didn't do it. When you get the 1LT, you're going to be like, fuck, I should have got the 2LT. Do I regret not getting the 3LT? No, because although it is an expensive car, I do have some level of like, hey, we're spending a lot of money, but at a certain point it becomes a waste. And I'm just like, no, I like the 2LT. I'm good on the 3, you know? Yeah, life's too short to settle. That's a good example. Was good, Alexis? Why was it a hassle to get? So, in case you guys didn't know this, I always bought cars in cash. Always. I just bought cash cars. This is technically my first car. So, I didn't want to buy it outright in cash. Obviously, I need money to trade with and invest and shit, emergency funds, shit like that, right? And I was like, I'm not going to buy this whole thing in cash. I'm not doing that. So I went to do financing. And they were like, you're a first-time car buyer. We're not going to give you this midlife crisis car as your first car. So I was getting rejection letters saying, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Oh, yeah, your credit's like 700 and some change, but, you know, you're a bitch. You know, so it's like, okay, well, what's the magic number then? Oh, well, it's not about that. I said, shut the fuck up. Tell me what the fucking number is. I'm getting this car. Either way. Just give me a number. Just give me a number. And I finally found out what that number was. And then paid it. So, you know, it's not a financial flex. I'm not trying to say, you know, all this shit, but it's just, there was a lot of no's involved. But the old adage is true, Mason. Money talks, bullshit walks. And that's very true. So, that's about the extent of how far I want to get into it. But it's very loud, it's very fast, it's very fun. And it's very pretty. So, yeah. Very full circle moment, you know. A lot of people Unfortunately, we'll never drive something like this. They'll never own something like this because they don't dream big. They don't build a plan and follow it. More on that tonight. I'm going to do a free call tonight later on. I think it's 7 p.m. No. Oh, shit. 6:30 p.m. Eastern. 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back on a live stream tonight. A completely different thing. It'll be a personal development call tonight. But I don't know. I forgot what the fuck I was saying. And no, meanwhile, they didn't know who I was. They were like, "Oh, what do you do?" I was like, "I do my fucking best, man. What do you do?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Link to the Discord. Just go into your Discord user settings and then go to connections and then sign into your YouTube channel that you signed up with, obviously. And then you'll see where to get in. Okay. All right. Oh, for the stream? No, it's going to be the same link. I'll just be live on YouTube. I'll just do another live session here on YouTube later on. But anyway, now we can get into it. All right, let's do first, before we get into ES, S&P, let's go into Dow Jones for a minute, because what was that level we talked about yesterday? Which, if you stayed long enough on the stream, you saw it. You saw me come back and I was like, ah. So 44,773, and I did mention the 44,800 level, and that was met right after the stream was over, right at 1:15 or like 1 o'clock it hit, and then 1:15 it stretched a little bit further. So you know what I need to do is maybe give some of these ideas just a few more minutes to pan out, because that technically hit at the macro. The 1250 to 110 macro. I don't know if Jordan is in here. We finally got that document going. We had finally got that document going, but low resistant highs, second stage accumulation. That was tagged right at the open of the hour during that macro. Beautiful. So if you guys watched that yesterday, you know, that was right in there on the stream yesterday. But again, like I said, I'm usually not that comfortable buying after such a nasty move higher. But one thing, if I may, yesterday was a really, really good example of top-down analysis. Why was the low set? We went over it. Why should price go lower? I kind of made a case for it. Why should it go higher? And I think I explained with enough examples of why it should go higher. The gap, daily imbalance, Sunday's gap, inverted discount end, lower low here, 15-minute imbalance as part of a second stage to go higher. Done. Right? Because remember, we outlined these highs up here. Consolidation as well. So we outlined that as what a potential continuation, or, you know, part of that second leg to go higher. And that's exactly what we got. So for all 82 of you on here, yesterday, if you want to go back and watch it, that was a wonderful example of top-down analysis and making a case for what price should do. I came out straight up and said, these conditions aren't, you know, I don't like the conditions. Nasdaq got its fucking face ripped off. Nvidia went down like 17%. I mean, it was wild yesterday. But even in wild markets, we can still find opportunities. We can still find something to watch live, or as usual, I'll give it to you before it happens. Okay? And that's what we got to see, which was pretty cool. Now, I would argue that today's price, that today's call was a lot better in terms of movement and speed. You know, it wasn't like the tail end of a move. It was basically seeing the entire move, which some of you again did catch today. So what what prompted me to say 6,073? Okay. 6,073. What prompted that? So before we get into the details here, let's zoom out and go to the daily, just like we did yesterday. Right? Always top-down analysis, top-down approach. What is the higher time frame context? You know, what's going on. So yesterday, we saw price trade down and then off of, you know, that low. What had that traded into over here? Right? That was that imbalance down here. Remember that? And look how the day closed as well. Look how the day closed. Way higher. From the low, I mean. It's still a down close day, but we came all the way down here, hit the imbalance, and then came up and traded off of it. What is up here? Remember Sunday's open? Something is like making a noise over there, and it's bothering me. What was up here? What happened on Sunday? We gapped lower. So when we go down, let's say to a 1 hour time frame, right now, this makes a little bit more sense why we were bullish this morning, or why a lot of you were bullish at a certain point. Daily imbalance, traded away from it. And then this morning, right, what took place? If the markets are going to go higher, see, this is, again, that gap up here on the daily, right? Sunday's gap up here. So if it's going to go higher, and again, this morning when we were in here, I told you, I don't know. I told you I'm not confident whether it's going to go higher or lower. I don't know yet, which is majority of the time I say, hey, I'm going to wait for something. And this is and today was a good example. If I can toot my own horn a little bit, today was a good example of exactly that. You saw exactly what I outlined. I outlined highs. I didn't mention the lows. I should have, but I mentioned the highs, and I said, if we're bullish, these are clean highs, but I'm not confident yet. So that means fucking wait. So we wait. What initially took place? We came down for all of these lows. Those lows are very close together, and it reached beyond that for, I believe that's an Asian low, if I'm not mistaken. So we came for all of that, right? But how do markets operate? There's 4 ways, and you'll learn this as well in the 48 laws of trading that I'll eventually get around to shooting, but I told you guys I would put that out next month in February. You learned already the 4 ways the markets move. Do you guys remember what they are? Imbalance to imbalance. What were the other 3? Do you guys remember? Will the market review come out before? Yeah. Probably, yeah. Yeah, I need to do that for sure. And yeah, Pop. No, I did. They were, because, dude, like, if I can just come back for a second while you guys are typing in the chat, you know, one salesman was like, well, why don't you just buy like a 2021 1LT with like 10K miles? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck drove that car. They could have been doing donuts like an idiot, mishandling that car. I'm not spending that kind of money for some secondhand bullshit. He's like, we'll come back in 6 months or 12 months and trade it in. I'm like, you can't fucking guarantee me a trade in. I'm not doing that. I was like, no. I want that one. At the time, it was the one in front. I was like, I want the white one in front. That's the one I want. No shit. He was like, well, what happens if you don't get it? I said, I'll fucking walk then, bro. I'll Uber. What do you mean? It's all or nothing, baby. It's all or nothing. So I had to do it, bro. I had to do it. And it does, G. Hard work does pay off. All right. Liquidity, Alex, what the fuck is that? Liquidity to liquidity is I think what you meant to say. Same thing, Mason. Liquidity to liquidity, Alex. Imbalance to liquidity, liquidity to imbalance. Convicted capitalist. Sure. But yeah, so imbalance to liquidity, liquidity to liquidity, liquidity to imbalance, and imbalance to imbalance was the 4. Okay, so do we see that here? I mean, I show it to you almost every day, every week for sure. Liquidity to what? There's a level up here I gave you at 6,073. Liquidity here as well. We traded lower. Look at that manipulation right there. How do you know that's manipulation? 15-minute time frame. But look at that candle. It opened, came all the way down here, swept that low by almost 10 points. Came off of it, closed at 8:45. And then what happened at 9 o'clock candle? Open of the hour. Right? Macro as well. Right? So let's go take a look. All right, let's go take a look down here. Most of you already know this because half of you fucking traded it today. And we've already seen all the charts and stuff. So most of you already know what's down here. But for those of you that aren't in the Discord, get your fucking ass in the Discord. But for those of you that are not, let's go investigate. Remember that these are lows. Okay? Asian low. London's low is way up here. But I would say Asian low is the most important for today in this regard. I don't know what this thing over here is making noise. Like, I really don't know what it is. And it's driving me fucking bonkers. Bonkers. It was either on ES or some of you might have traded Nasdaq instead. But either way, we got this run lower, obvious manipulation. Do we have an imbalance? Well, yes. And that is right there. You see that? So remember, what was once bearish, okay? What was once bearish should become bullish. What's good, Toby? What was once bearish should become bullish. And we see, obviously, there's an imbalance, traded into, partially left open, dropped, imbalance, partially traded into, dropped, imbalance, partially traded into, dropped, right? But this imbalance lower is the last imbalance, right? You have 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th one. I don't care about the numbers. There could be 2 imbalances. There could be fucking 5. I don't think that makes a difference, or at least it doesn't to me. It's just the last one, right? Doesn't matter. It's the very last one. So because we met liquidity, right? And we traded below all those lows, but we have original consolidation and low resistant highs. So what is this starting to look like? What is this starting to look like? Original consolidation, manipulation, distribution 1, second leg distribution here. So this whole thing was a market maker sell model. Oh shit. Oh shit, John's coming with it today. Remember what I taught you a couple days ago or a couple streams ago? You can have market maker models that are connected like a chain link. So you can have a market maker sell model and then turn around and have a what? Market maker buy model. Right? Now the time is, again, it's sometimes they're skewed because you have London and then pre-market and then you have equities open, which has the most volatility, and that's where you get the launch, right? So it's not always going to be the same amount of time on both sides of the curve. Okay? That's important to know. But again, you have a sell model into a buy model, right? So if we're in a buy model, when we had manipulation, what comes after manipulation? All of you know this already. We've been over this time and time again. It's in the masterclass video. We do this all the time here. So this should not be new to you. What comes after manipulation? Low risk buy or the low risk short. But since we're bullish, or you guys were bullish this morning, right? We're looking for a low risk buy. Where's the low risk buy here? 90 viewers. Look at that. Magically, you buy a nice car and all of a sudden you get more viewers. How funny that is. After manipulation, it's always in order. It's never out of order. After manipulation comes the low risk buy. You could have the NCE, next candle entry, but I wouldn't really see that here. I don't see that here. And I wouldn't count this one either. I wouldn't count that. In hindsight, that looks like it works, but I like ones that stand out, that make a difference. Okay. So we trade through it at 854. So what are we inside of now? What are we inside of? I'm about to just kick this whole fucking PC off the desk. What are we inside of, chat? 850 to 10, or excuse me, 9:10, sorry. 10 minutes after the hour. 850 to 9:10 is the what? The 9 a.m. macro. Right. Right. You guys are probably smiling now. So what's the formula right here? What do you got? Time. What do you got? Price. What do you got? Context. Oh yeah, John, that's the fucking trifecta. You bet your ass that's the trifecta. Why do you think I made it? Inversion right there at 855. 854, 855. New what? 5-minute candle open. Into an inversion. Now, you could argue this imbalance here would have been a low risk buy. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Why would I say that? Think about what I taught you a couple weeks ago. What did I teach you? Most people don't do this because they always wait for the break of structure. I told you. You don't have to wait for that bullshit. You don't even have to wait for a shift in price delivery. You can trade inversions. You can trade concepts before they get traded through. I told you that. That's in your notes. What did we trade into right there? Let's take that old low off. We know it's there. But where's this small imbalance? And where is that? Where's price touching? What is price touching? The discount end. It hasn't been traded through yet. I know it hasn't. And that's why I told you, you don't have to wait for that. I do prefer it. I prefer it. But that doesn't mean you have to wait. So I would say, in hindsight, of course, I would say, because I was actually watching like a 5-minute chart after a certain point, but I was gone during this whole part right here. I would say there is an inversion here. I wouldn't do that, but I would say probably at 855, that new 5-minute candle, that's an opportunity. But this one here is as well. You would have just been buying the first imbalance in a reversal. Now, typically that should be a breakaway. It wasn't, but it had other ideas. It traded to the discount end of the inversion prior to being traded through. So maybe you could have longed here. You could have added one here, or maybe added another one at this down candle here, right? Scaling in. Scaling in. And then look at that. Where did we go to? The magic random level that I just pulled out of my ass. Just pulled it right out. 6,073. And we just magically trade right there. Boom. Low risk buys in here. We do consolidate here Um, it's, if I had to put a label on it, one could argue this is the low risk buy, and then this is the first stage accumulation, which was only all of 5 minutes. But you can get a lot done in 5 minutes. Wink. Low risk buy, first stage accumulation, and then this would be the second stage to go higher. Right? This consolidation in here, second stage to go higher. Okay? So now, are we all on the same page? Manipulation, low risk buy, first stage accumulation, this down. I don't think that down candle got met. Oh, no, it did. It did. Those two down candles here met right there. See that? Not this here, that right there. You see how we trade above it here? That's a shift in price delivery. We trade right back into it right there. Boom. That's another add-on. Manipulation, low risk buy, first stage, second stage to go up here. You see that? That's why you guys were in the chat saying, oh shit, today was clean. This was awesome. John, you're the man. These aren't my concepts, bro. I keep saying that. I did not invent this. There's only like a few things I created. There's a few things I discovered on my own through the charts. Doesn't mean I invented it or created it. It's just the way it's the way the market works. It's the way this operates. It operates based on time and it operates based on price. The context is, you know, where people have disagreements on, because it's open for interpretation. You can't argue the price. It's going to print open, high, low, close, open, high, low, close. That's verifiable. The time, same shit. There's time, 1 minute candlesticks, 5 minute candlesticks, 8 o'clock's always going to be 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? It's scheduled every day. You know, times never change. We might go back or forward an hour, but excluding that, it's always going to be the same. Time is always the same. Price is always the same. The hard part for some people is trying to understand the context. Why should price go higher? Because I dragged it higher. I'm just fucking with you guys. Obviously, I don't move price. But when you get in alignment with price delivery, it makes it look like you do. Because a lot of you caught, I'm telling you, go back and look in the Discord. A lot of you caught this morning. Some of you got in down here. Some of you got in here. I think one of you traded NQ like up in here or maybe up here for a little scalp. There's nothing wrong with that. Every stage has its own characteristics. What do I like doing? Well, look, if I had to trade for social media, it's going to be the low risk buy every time, because you're going to capture the most range. You know, somebody was bragging the other day about catching like 3 points on NQ. I'm like, I captured the whole day on Dow. The whole day. And you caught like a scalp. You know, what do you think is better? Obviously my trade. Obviously. Now again, it's no ego, it's no pride. I'm in year 11. I've been doing this a long time. But I used to be the same way. Oh yeah, I caught a good trade. Let me show off. Bro, your trade was pennies. It was pennies. There's nothing wrong with the scalp, but if you're bragging about a scalp, I don't know, Chief. I don't know about that. But if you're in from the low risk buy and you hold that bitch all the way to the final take profit stage, oh, you're a fucking G. And then if you hold one for the end of the day and it just so happens to continue into the end of the day and you catch the entire day's range, you're elite. I'm sorry, you're top 1%. Period. Because there are not many people that are doing that. I promise you. But that's not what it's about. It's not about social media. But my favorite trades are typically going to be the low risk buy or the first stage accumulation. The first stage accumulation, sometimes the stops are a little bit wider. You might not be comfortable with that. I might not be comfortable with that. If there's a big range, then yeah, it might just be like hands off or go micros, you know, like I get that. But yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, Alex. So when you put your inversion box, you do it from the previous low of the last up candle. The candle closure doesn't matter. I actually had a friend of mine question that the other day. It doesn't have to be consecutive candles. It doesn't have to be down close or up close. That matters not. And I'll give you a perfect example. Both of these right here. This inversion, okay? That could have been an up close candle. It still would have had a wick on it. Okay? Or like this one here. From this candle's high to, or excuse me, from this candle's low, which is the high end, this candle's high, which is the low end. Okay? That doesn't have to be an up candle. It could be an up close or a down close. Or it could be a doji. It could just be a, you know, one of those, it could be this one right here. You see this one right here? Like how it closed where it opened. It could be like that. That could still be an imbalance that you can measure it from. Now it wasn't, but I'm just trying to, again, show you what I'm talking about. The candle closure, up, down, or doji, it doesn't matter. That matters not. Okay? It's just the 3 candle formation. And you're going to measure from candle lows to candle highs, or candle highs to candle lows. That's the way I do it, at least. You know, that's just how I do it. That's my goal, is to catch daily expansions. Yeah, Joe. Yeah. Imagine catching a weekly expansion. But weekly expansion in futures is very hard. It's very difficult. I usually don't have the stomach for it. It's just, when I hold trades overnight, it's just, I'm sure some of y'all can relate, but I already have a hard time sleeping anyway. And then you throw on an open trade on top of that, and it's just like, I just can't do it. I just can't. I have limitations, chat. I'm a human. I have flaws. I have limitations. There's certain things I just can't do. But anyway, what do you think the ultimate target is? Why would it be a good idea to hold one for the end of the day? Now, I didn't mention that in the Discord. I didn't say that. If I thought about it, I would have, but I didn't say that. But based on information that you have now, why do you think it would be a good idea to potentially hold one contract, if you trade multiple, to hold one for the end of the day? There is a possibility, it's not guaranteed, but there is a possibility, if we get a bullish PM session, maybe a bullish final hour, and possibly the MLC, the market on close, could trade up and into this gap. That's still, right? We have no sell side delivery. We have no buy side price delivery. So it needs to come up to offer buy side price delivery. And where's that at? The low end of it's around 61.02. The high end's like 61.30. So 61.03 is the very beginning. Well, it's the open. It ain't the. We opened lower, and then we got buy side delivery a little bit, meaning the highest buy side delivery that we got was at 6,105.25. So I would expect at least 61.05 and 2/4. Does that make sense? That's what I would expect. Now, I could be wrong. The market doesn't have to do that. The market could come lower and take some internal lows. I don't think it will. I think it's going to go higher. But now you know why. Same thing from yesterday. Build a case. Okay? Imagine being a lawyer and you're representing a client, which is your money. And you're, going to the jury and saying, look, we've got a gap up here. We took downside liquidity. We hit a daily imbalance yesterday. We got all these reasons why we shouldn't go lower. We shouldn't go lower because we got liquidity. We should go higher because we got a gap. We already saw a bunch of other shit that I forgot to mention. When you have two imbalances, which one do you trade? The first one with a stop at the second one. Did you miss that? Also, what else was in here? Low, high, lower low. So what does that make this? A potential mitigation. This wouldn't be a mitigation to me. It would be a reaccumulation, right? Where does price happen to stop and turn around? Right at the reaccumulation on a 5-minute time frame and 15-minute probably as well. See that? Price just magically pauses, magically hits that, turns around and continues, right? So we have all the case in the world that we should go higher. Make sense? And that's it. That's high probability trading 101 right there between yesterday and today. And the only other 2 live sessions that I did in the morning, like morning AM sessions, I give you targets and they've gone there. Because that, it's based on probabilities. That's it. It's based on, I mean, you could technically call this a pattern. I don't really look at it that way, but market maker buy models and sell models, they repeat. So if it repeats, I guess you could call it a pattern, right? But this is the hardest part, you know, is understanding you had a sell model and then the profit taking portion of the sell model is the manipulation portion of the buy model. In the way that I view it, you know, some people might disagree or have their own opinion. That's fine. We're all allowed to have our own opinion, but I think the person who's consistently being able to call price before it happens and someone who typically gets in at lows and out at highs, I think they're worth listening to. It ain't always me. I take losing trades too. Sure. But I'm just saying, you guys have seen recorded trades. You've seen me do it. So I feel like, you know, my opinion probably carries a little bit of weight. Maybe just a little bit. All right. But that's really about all that I got. You know, NQ probably did the same thing, went lower, did some stuff, and then rallied higher. But this is price action, you know? Top-down analysis, time price context, that's how you get good trades. Whenever you guys, if you haven't checked the Discord yet, go check it out. Go to this morning. A bunch of you caught this. A lot of you did. And I'm proud of that. I really am. Getting in at the low or just after the low or a little bit later and still catching a part of the move. It's good trading. Do you guys disagree? Drop a 1 if you agree. Do you agree that this style of trading is wonderful? Notice, okay? Notice I didn't say my style of trading. It's not mine. It is a way of trading. It is a style of trading. That's why I said this way of analysis, this way of trading is pretty fucking awesome. Versus what? Waiting for a VWAP cross or waiting for a 50 EMA, you know, whatever, oversold, overbought RSI and stuff like that. You know, you've never seen me do any of that shit. Maybe in like 2015, 2016, I had all that shit on there. And that's why I was ass. You know, I was ass. But now you see differently. So, but anyway, in closing, yeah, got a new car. I love it. I think it's wonderful. I'm a little bit nervous because people in my area drive like absolute dog shit, absolute horse shit. But luckily, there's a front camera that records, there's a back camera that records and stuff like that. So no one can try to run an insurance scam. I mean, they could try, but it ain't gonna work, you know. So I feel pretty good about it. And that's trading for you, man. This is high probability trading 101. Build your case, top down analysis, and use concepts that repeat. That's it. Use concepts that repeat. And this is how you take good trades. And that's it. And that's it. Yeah, and yeah, Mason. Well, I'm still long on SPY. So that gap down and then that movement yesterday, you know, that was a little, you know, that was kind of like, oh my God. But we recovered pretty quickly. I mean, we gapped down, yeah. And then the SPY's, it's a little wonky here, but I'm still long on half my original position from down here, right? In all-time highs or new highs, out half, and I've held the other half. So I guess if we make new all-time highs again, I'll probably go ahead and collapse it. So. And yeah, Joe, I understand. I mean, I've been to a lot of places, bro. Everyone drives like garbage because people are very impatient. I understand that. I'm impatient too. But when it comes to driving, you shouldn't be an impatient driver because that's dangerous. You're putting yourself at risk, you're putting other people at risk, and the risk reward is just not there. You know what I mean? It's just not there. And most people, if they're driving an older car, they don't care. They're just reckless. They don't care. But when you actually have something nice and expensive, you're like, oh, whoa, back the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, don't ding my shit. So, yeah, I might have to park in the back of the parking lot for a little while. But it's all good. It's not a fucking like Lamborghini or some shit. But I don't know. I'm proud of it. It's it really is like a life-changing, life-altering moment for me. So, thank you, Alexis. Eduardo, how do you get into the Discord? You gotta get a membership here. It's $25 a month. I'll never sell you a course. I'll never sell you some expensive shit. $25 a month. That's all you pay. Okay. Apparently, it's $29.99 if you go through Apple Pay. So don't do that. Fuck Apple. Once you get a membership, you go to Discord user settings. That's going to be that little cog symbol in your Discord next to your profile picture. You click that, you go to connections, and then you see all the apps. You go to YouTube, you sign in. And then once you sign in and your account is connected, you'll see the Discord to join. It's just like the trim on the video right next to my face over here, whatever side it's on. And you'll see that yellow sniper to be able to join. No, Ahmed, I don't really trade currencies all that much. If I do trade currencies, I'll end up doing like the currency futures, like Euro futures, but not Euro USD. That's just I'm a lot better with indices, and I do better with indices as well. Put the H-Town spokes on the rims, Rick. Yeah, I thought about that, but you know what? I can't do it, bro. I just can't do it. I signed a waiver, bro. Like aftermarket parts, all that shit voids all the warranties. And don't get me wrong, I like the rims that are poking out, 12 feet into the into the other direction. But no, I'm not messing with that, bro. I'm not messing with that. Thank you, Joe. But yeah, thanks guys for being here. I will see you guys later. All right. So basically it'll be 4.5 hours from right now. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. my time. I'm going to do a call. Let me see what it's called. All right. I'm going to do a call. 10 things to quit in 2025. All right. 10 things to quit in 2025. All right. I will go over that tonight. Y'all be good. Be blessed. I'll put out the marker if you either before that or I'll schedule it for after. All right. So be good. And I will see. And yeah, G, I'll be right here back on YouTube. Yes. For the call. All right. Be good, man. I'll see you guys later in the afternoon. All right.
my brothers when I see them now.